ugly or indifferent, what's that one gig experience that you had that you could talk about?
The worst one I got. Okay. I'll go with the worst. So there's a mutual festival that you and I like to play. It's Underground Little Festy that we like to play.
He said you like to play.
You know,
we're gonna bleep that out. We're definitely gonna bleep that shit out.
Well, you like to favor for people.
Yeah, right.
I love it personally, man. I like going there. So it's my fourth time ever playing there. They do it twice a year, man. And there was one that was delayed and all this nonsense, man. I go in there to play this festival, and I'm sharing the stage. At that time, my lineup rotates. You know, I was getting some new bandmates, man, and I had this kid on. It's just like my little brother. I'll actually reserve his name because I love him so much. I would never want the public to know who he is.
Now, real quick, did you live record one of these for the album?
Harshmellow.
Yeah, Harshmellow.
Yeah, I had to do a lot of editing to that one.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
you know what? I was there that year.
You were.
What you? Because I think I was. Okay, bet.
You was there.
Yeah.
You was there.
I operated smoke machines for you guys the next
day. Yeah. I remember that. It happened right before I pulled up.
It was the day.
It was the day before.
It was the day before.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was there that year.
So
I was there too.
You were not.
Dude, you would have wished, man. This is crazy. So like the small stage has this like fire pit in the front. It was like they had this logs burning, and man, this kid.
It's a lady that does fire dancing and stuff.
There was a kid. He just got. He's actually a kid at this time. He was like 20 or 19 years old, man. He bless his heart. That's a Texas thing. Bless your heart. And he exemplified that. Oh my God, he had a handle of Tito's with him. And was just doing coke, like a ton of it. And then by the time,
kid?
Yeah, a 19-year-old kid. Sometimes they just get their hands on stuff, and they they don't know what's bad for them.
Those little rascals.
Yeah. Oh, kids do the darndest drugs.
The darndest drugs.
Yeah. So
that's a drop in itself.
Yeah.
Kids do the darndest drugs. That's funny.
Yeah. Well, people hate their dads. So let me get back to this. He gets completely wasted, and my legendary friend, he was supposed to play bass for me, and he wasn't able to make it because apparently he was busy making merchandise or something. If I could only remember his name.
Yeah.
And so I didn't have a bass
right at the
player.
top of my head. I just can't.
It's right there.
Yeah, dude. I felt like it's right on the. I feel like it's right on the tin of my tongue. So
beautiful.
I'm stressing out. I don't have a bass player anymore. He was supposed to play bass for me. And so I had another volunteer who was like, okay, I'll play bass with you. I was like, cool, I'm going to do 2 drummers. So I had Marsha Keys and then my buddy Tommy Cox. And man, this kid gets so wasted. He immediately, the first thing he does when he gets on stage, I mean, we're trying to go into this thing, and I actually had a time to channel in my pedal board rig, and I'm doing all this stuff because I have so much effects doing all my music. I had like 25 pedals at the time. I was trying to dial it in, and this kid's taking a beer and he like dumps it on his guitar and onto his pedal board, and then he kicks his pedal board over, and I was like, oh man, shit, this is about to get real live. So I was like, maybe if he can contain it a little bit. But it wasn't like that. So we started just like doing the songs or whatever, and he keeps diming this guy's amp that he's borrowing, the tin of my tongue. That guy was also supposed to bring my amplifier that I was supposed to use that night, so I actually had to borrow my guitarist's amp, and then my guitarist borrowed somebody else's, so he kept diming this tube amp that was a vintage tube amp. He kept diming it every time, and he was just so drunk, and then every time the owner of the amp would come around and turn it back down, and he'd be like, hey, stop diming my amp, and he just kept turning it to 10, like looking for an 11, you know? And so next thing I know, he chugs another beer and throws the can back, and then the bass player, he gets his gear wet, and he's like, oh man, this is about to go south right now. And he like grabs his gear, and the bass player leaves. I'm like, oh man, now I'm without a bass player. I'm playing without a bass player. Then he's going and going and going. Everything's going worse. Then the guitarist dude who's letting this kid borrow his amp unplugs the kid's guitar and takes his amp too. And he's like, sorry man, I got to do what I got to do to protect my gear, you know? But I didn't even see it. I wasn't seeing any of this stuff. I was so focused on what was going on with my rig that by the time I picked my head back up and I'm trying to do stuff and I look back, bass is gone. I'm like, all right. And then I go back down and start doing more. And then I look up, he doesn't have an amplifier anymore, right? I was like, oh man, this is getting worse and worse and worse. But at the time, I didn't even know what was going on I didn't even know. I just thought that people started taking their instruments and stuff because they hated my music or hated what I was doing. I was like, so then I started like losing my cool. I was like, what am I, some kind of joke?
Yeah.
So I took the self-absorbed route on it and was like blaming myself because that's what I do because I was raised Catholic. You take it out on yourself, you know?
Okay.
So then all of a sudden I found out later it was the kid that caused all the problems. But yeah, in that same instance, I mean, he kicked a fire log in the fire pit or something, like off the fire pit, and it hit some girl and injured somebody, and then he grabbed an overhead mic from the drums and screamed to F the crowd and the festival and all this stuff and was cussing everybody out, was being drunk and belligerent.
Man.
He punched my adopted mom in the neck, and she had just had like a broken like vertebrae, like reassigned essentially, like something was going on, like a reassessment of her condition, and like he like punched her in the neck. He was trying to like put his arm around her, but he was so messed up that by the time he came around, he like just like decked her really hard in the neck, and then she was afraid and was like freaking out, and she's like, "Get away from me! Like, don't do it or whatever." And then he just like cussed at her and was like, "F you, go get Tommy," which is her husband, who's now my adopted dad. So that was really, really probably my worst gig. There's on that grounds of that festy, there's an unspoken and spoken rule. There's no fighting, no drama on the grounds, or else you'll be banned. Like so, like they were almost willing to waive that rule to beat the shit out of that kid, toss him off, and then they were going to ban our band. We were actually not supposed to come back to that festival. We weren't supposed to come back. We were not even allowed. And then so so I ended up kicking him out of the band and then regrouping and kind of reevaluating my direction and then getting back together with the guy who runs that jam. And I was like, hey man, I really like a chance to wipe my hands of this, you know, and try to do better if I can. And then the following time we came back, last year was really awesome. So it was a huge redemption on my end, but plus also my greatest friend in the world who, I just can't remember his name. He also had my back the next day. A lot of people were like, man, why are you still here? Like they were looking at me and being like, dude, why are you even still here right now? Like they were wanting to jump me. And then homeboy had my back and was like, hey man, it wasn't his fault and he didn't know. And he was like, also I was supposed to be there. And then even on his set with you guys on stage, he gave us a shout out and was like, you know, hey, I heard some stuff happen, and if I was there, I was like, I was glad I wasn't there. I would have gotten myself banned, you know.
Which I was just about to say is probably best that the dude that we can't think of his name, it's probably best that he wasn't there, that he wasn't the one that did the stuff, because that would have went a totally different route, dude. If it was his gear that got wet up and all that stuff. Yeah,
we wouldn't have to be kicking anybody out. There would have been a body needing to be buried.
Yeah, absolutely. Just merch.
That's my worst gig I think I've ever played.
Merch everywhere.